Diddy didn't do it alone. Where are all the celebrities and friends that hung around Diddy? Did they really not know all of this information?
We would hate for the Hollywood elites and a lot of these politicians to just, crash and burn, right? I wonder if this is what Jay-Z meant when he said, I have 99 problems.
Diddy offered a $50 million bond, surrendered passport, and proposed home detention, but the USDA deemed him a flight risk.
Can you handle if the celebrity that you've been loving for a really long time is a part of all of this chaos?
Shannon Sharpe has been a powerhouse in the entertainment industry for years. But ever since he stepped into the podcast game, he's been dropping more bombshells than anyone else dared to. We all know how things started to unravel around Diddy after Shannon's explosive Katt Williams interview. But guess what? It turns out Diddy wasn't acting alone. Oh no, Oprah was right there with him. And together, they were pulling strings in some downright inhumane ways to manipulate and take advantage of young, up-and-coming artists. The secrets Shannon's spilling now, let's just say the industry will never look the same. Diddy arrest and indictment. So Sean Combs is officially in custody. And let me tell you, his fall from grace is straight-up Hollywood-level dramatic. After months of rumors, accusations, and shady whispers, the feds finally swooped in, and things ain't looking too good for Mr. Bad Boy. He's been indicted by federal authorities in New York, charged with running an empire of S-crimes dating all the way back to 2008. Yeah, you heard me right, 2008.
New surveillance video shows Combs being taken into custody in a Manhattan hotel last week.
Just a few days ago, Diddy was out here demanding the court dismiss the February lawsuit against him, calling it a bunch of lurid theatrics and blatant falsehoods. Well, looks like those theatrics are coming back to bite. Now he's not just battling rumors, he's facing the cold, hard truth in a grand jury indictment. The truth is spilling out, and let's just say it's uglier than any of us could ever have imagined. Talk about the tables turning. Anyway, Agnifilo, Combs' attorney, is still trying to paint Diddy into a God-fearing man. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is an imperfect person, but he is not a criminal. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court. However, Agnifilo's efforts are in vain since no one is believing him, especially since Shannon Sharpe also joined in on spilling tea on Diddy. Word on the street is that Shannon Sharpe has been using his deep roots in the industry to gather all the tea and bring Diddy down once and for all. Now, some folks might say it's starting to look like obsessive behavior. But listen, Diddy is one crafty dude. He's the kind of guy who can flip the script in a heartbeat if he finds a loophole to slip through. And Shannon? Well, he's making sure that doesn't happen. He's not just sitting back. He's out here, connecting dots, collecting receipts, and making sure Diddy doesn't get the chance to wriggle his way out of this mess.
These Hollywood parties. Marlon, you been to the Hollywood party. What's going on at these Hollywood parties?
I left early.
And trust me, that's not all. Authorities are saying Diddy wasn't working solo. Oh no, they're alleging that he had plenty of help. What we're looking at next is the potential prosecution of a whole network of people tied to the rap mogul. According to the indictment, which hits Diddy with federal charges of ST, he allegedly used his employees to facilitate and carry out some disturbing actions. We're talking about threats, and the infamous freak-offs, or S parties, he's been accused of hosting. These employees weren't just random staff either. It ranged from security, household workers, personal assistants, to even high-ranking supervisors. But wait, it gets worse, because former federal prosecutor Manny Medrano believes that some of these employees are probably going to make deals to testify against Diddy. But others? Oh, they might be facing criminal charges themselves. Whether they get prosecuted or cut a deal depends on if they were seen as high-level or low-level enablers in all this madness. So far, Diddy's fall from grace is looking like it's gonna drag down a whole lot of folks with him.
Diddy is not the only pervert in Hollywood. There are so many young women and men who go to Hollywood or go to these parties or they go to these spaces with just a dream.
Manny claimed that some big names might come under the Diddy avalanche as well. I have no doubt that perhaps there are some other high-level celebrities, high-profile individuals in those parties, participated in them. Word on the street is that the feds are eyeing Oprah as their next big target in this whole mess. Yep, you heard that right. Oprah, who's built a reputation as a selfless maiden, always uplifting the black community, might not be as squeaky clean as she seems. The thing is, while Oprah's been out here presenting herself as a savior, the folks working under her aren't exactly singing her praises. But before we dive deeper into that, you should know that Oprah's name has been swirling around in horror stories tied to ST for a minute, just like Diddy. Her image might have been pristine in the public eye, but behind the scenes, there's a storm brewing and it's about to come crashing down. As you may remember, Oprah's Leadership Academy for Girls was launched with a lot of fanfare back in January 2007. It was supposed to be a game changer, a state-of-the-art free education for girls with leadership potential, especially from low-income families. But here's where things get messy. Reports surfaced not long after that, at least one adult at the school was accused of physically and SAing a student. According to reports, 2 days after that, police confirmed a case had been opened against a dorm parent for mistreatment. Apparently, this child was grabbed by the neck, thrown against the wall, and touched inappropriately. Now that's what's been reported, but the school has kept a tight lid on the situation. However, parents spoke to a parent who told news outlets that all dorm parents there were female. No males were allowed.
After the school opened, a matron of the school was charged with touching several of the girls in a very inappropriate manner. When the crime eventually came to light, Oprah herself went to fire the school's head mistress.
So that definitely raises some questions. In addition to that, it was also reported that Oprah herself made 2 emergency trips to the school in the wake of this scandal. From what people on the ground claimed, the vibe was strange, like the kids are cut off from the outside world. Some even describe it as feeling like prison. Parents weren't seeing their children, and that got them worried. What was supposed to be a village of support for these girls is starting to look a lot more like an island, isolated, controlled, and hidden from public scrutiny. At that time, Oprah claimed, "Nothing is more serious or devastating to me than an allegation of misconduct by an adult against any girl at the academy. I will do everything within my power to ensure their safety and well-being. I will forever be proud of the 9 girls who testified with the courage and conviction to be heard." And if you thought that was the end of the drama, think again. Oprah's school in South Africa got hit with another scandal in 2011, and that one was even more heartbreaking. Authorities discovered the body of a newborn in one of the students' bags. Yeah, you heard that right, a newborn. You see, a 17-year-old girl brought the bag to a hospital where she was being treated for excessive bleeding. That's when the police made the shocking discovery. It's believed that the girl gave birth at the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. However, no charges were filed against her. Interestingly, the identity of the girl was kept under wraps. Meanwhile, the academy stayed quiet on the incident, only citing the fact that a minor is involved. What kind of education was Oprah giving these students for them to be acting like this? I mean, third scandal in less than 2 years? Something seriously off there. According to the New York Daily News, 7 students were suspended for S-ing their classmates. And get this, other girls were reportedly caught fondling each other or trying to rope others into lesbian liaisons. Lisa Halliday, the spokesperson for Ms. Winfrey, confirmed the suspension from the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy School for Girls, but didn't spill many details. Is this what empowerment looks like in her school? It's wild to think that in a place meant to uplift, this is what's happening behind closed doors. So while Oprah's image may be untouchable in the public eye, behind the scenes, the stories just keep piling up.
And now there's a new scandal that the school is known for, as many people online have started spreading rumors that girls are disappearing from the school.
Shannon and Monique. And Oprah's school isn't the only part of her career that's been marred by controversy. Rumors have been swirling that she's been underpaying and exploiting young artists for years. Sounds hard to believe, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Shannon Sharpe didn't just pull this out of thin air, he's actually echoing what Monique has been screaming from the rooftops for years. And let's be real, no one seems to care about what she's been saying.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do. And stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments.
Before you go accusing Shannon of drumming up drama, he isn't here to stir the pot for the fun of it. He's an industry insider who's using his platform to give a voice to people who've been wronged by some of the most powerful names in Hollywood. And when someone like Shannon speaks, people pay attention. That's the problem. See, Oprah and Tyler Perry aren't too thrilled about being dragged into the spotlight for all the wrong reasons. When Shannon brought up Monique's claims, he wasn't making up rumors or trying to start drama. He was shining a light on something that had been swept under the rug for far too long.
What people are upset about is that for some reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notions, and they open up to me.
Right.
That's what they're upset about.
Monique has been telling everyone about this for years, but nobody seemed to care until Shannon started speaking up. Funny how that works, right? It's not like Oprah and Perry are new to dodging controversy, but when someone as loud and respected as Shannon starts talking, the conversation can't just be ignored. He made sure that the uncomfortable truth about Oprah's treatment of young artists wasn't going to disappear this time. At the end of the day, Shannon wasn't out to get anyone. He was simply holding up a mirror to the messy side of Hollywood that some folks would rather keep hidden. And let's face it, the truth has a funny way of making even the biggest names in the game feel a little uncomfortable. Despite that, Shannon clapped back, saying, "I told you when I first started this, I said I'm going to try to bring you some of the biggest celebs, entertainers, and athletes I can bring. And I'm going to allow them to have a conversation and maybe tell you something or share something with you that they've never said. That was it. I never said I was a journalist. I never professed to be a journalist. I'm an entertainer." Monique really didn't hold back when it came to calling Oprah out. Despite being part of the same project that earned her an Oscar, Monique made it clear she had some things to get off her chest about Oprah's position in the black community. In an interview, Monique dropped this memorable gem. "When people ask me, 'Monique, do you hate Oprah?' No, I love Oprah Winfrey. I just want her behind to come back black. Come back black. You know what I mean by that?" She wasn't mincing words, calling Oprah out for what she saw as turning away from her roots and the issues that matter to black entertainers. Monique wasn't finished, though. She went on to call out Oprah for her alleged shady antics towards black entertainers, saying, "Black women will have these conversations privately about Oprah. They'll sit around and talk about her. I've been there. I've heard the stories."
It was different because we had never seen that before. You said their names. Let me say this, I'm not the first one.
Right.
I'm not the first one, but we get washed away in history so easily that we start thinking, oh, this the first one.
She claims she's had face-to-face conversations with Oprah, but Oprah had no words for her. Monique wasn't trying to cancel Oprah, though. She made sure to stress that she still considered her a sister, but her plea was clear. "Oprah, come on back home. We got the light on for you." It was a pretty bold move, making it known that in some corners of the black community, folks were waiting for Oprah to reconnect with her roots.
They would beat one real good.
Right. But in front of the others.
In front of the others, and they let everybody know what you don't want is that type of ass whooping.
Right.
So what they said was, we're gonna beat Monique really good.
Monique's issues with Oprah and other Hollywood elites really started to bubble over when she hit the stage during Katt Williams' comedy tour and delivered a bold, unfiltered rant. She didn't hold back, saying,
"You Oprah Winfrey, you Tyler Perry, that cold mother, I said it, never say it with me, you Oprah Winfrey."
Her troubles in the industry gained serious attention when she refused to promote her film Precious for free at the Cannes Film Festival. This refusal to play by the Hollywood rules sparked the fallout, but it's interesting that Oprah, being one of the producers of the film, also had a hand in Monique's complicated situation. Monique stood her ground, but in doing so, she found herself butting heads with some of the most powerful figures in the industry, Oprah included. She said, "I said, Oprah, I'm doing a talk show. I'm doing a comedy tour. I have a husband. I have babies. I have a little bit of downtime and I'm going to take advantage of it. So I'm not going anywhere because I'm not obligated to go anywhere. I've done my part." So we mutually agreed to disagree. That was it. Next thing I know, I am considered difficult and hard to work with.
I'm unapologetic and I'm unwavering about it. Because when I see this woman, Oprah Winfrey, how do you as a black woman watch another black woman be thrown under the bus based off of a lie?
Monique didn't just win an Oscar for Precious, she also made it clear she wasn't about to play by Hollywood's rules. When she took home that Academy Award, she declined to thank Lee Daniels or Oprah. And that decision sparked a feud that has followed her ever since. Shortly after, Monique alleged that she had been blackballed from the industry, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "I felt the same injustices and inequalities that all the black women who came to Hollywood before me felt. Oftentimes, people call that anger. They call it bitterness. They call it unstable. They give it all these titles except what it really is." And it didn't stop there. Even with her career on the line, Monique kept calling out Oprah, accusing her of betrayal in the worst way. She has been relentless in her fight for justice, and despite being blacklisted, she's not backing down. But it's not hard to see why Shannon gave Monique his platform to speak out. Her career might be in shambles, but she's been the only one brave enough to openly challenge Oprah, hoping to convince other victims to step forward. I'm not saying she hasn't, but I've never heard Oprah Winfrey talk about the inequality of black women in Hollywood. So when you get to running down these movies, baby, that's a payday. What does that mean? What are you really doing for black women? And she could say, I don't have to do nothing. I don't owe nobody nothing. You're right, but damn if you don't owe me an apology because privately you told me I was right. Publicly you said nothing. And you watched a black woman, you watched me, get thrown under that bus. Monique highlighted that she wasn't the only one who got the shorter end of the stick. She explained that black women are so devalued in the industry that when someone gives them a little over their previous paycheck, they get happy. For those who don't understand, Monique was referring to Taraji P. Henson's statement where she said, I think the industry knew I was talented, but it's about money. Are you bankable? I had to continuously prove that. I've been trying to prove and improve. I was asking for $500,000. I didn't get paid that until I did my first Tyler Perry film.
And I made it public. Financially, my family took a hit, Shannon. And when I tell you we took a hit.
Right.
Oprah's response to Monique's accusations, classic Oprah, smooth, polished, and dripping with feel-good vibes. But if you scratch beneath the surface, was she really dodging the heat? When Global Grind finally confronted her about the feud during her A Wrinkle in Time press run, Oprah gave what could only be described as a carefully packaged soundbite designed to shut down the conversation. You can't meet negative energy where it is. You have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. You have to be the light. It only takes a little bit of light to banish the darkness. It takes a lot of darkness to overcome the light. It takes just a little bit of light. And we are warriors of the light. I would never try to stoop to meet somebody where they are negatively. Don't care who they are. Light, huh? Well, Oprah, where was that light when Monique needed a hand in navigating Hollywood's power plays? She might be talking about rising above, but let's not pretend Oprah didn't have a hand all over Precious, the film that put Monique on the Oscar stage and then helped her career go up in flames. Oprah played the mentor role so well until Monique didn't want to play by the rules anymore. That's when she got left in the dust. It's almost like Oprah's version of light is reserved for those who follow the script, and when they don't, well, it gets a little dimmer, doesn't it? It sounds great on a Hallmark card, but when you're one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood and you've got young talents like Monique being left blackballed after you're done with them, maybe it's time to reconsider who's sitting in the shadows. That's all for today. We hope you liked that video, and if you did, please like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this.